Hashtag egg porn. Look at that crispy fried egg. And then those bacony, spicy, chewy kimchi noodles. This is one ultimate little plate of heaven. So first up, we're gonna do that crispy, crunchy egg. Now, poaching eggs, I'm gonna do it a really simple way. We're gonna get some cling film and just brush it with a little bit of oil. Crack your egg into there. Now, gather that up, just gently twist. I like to keep a little bit of an air bubble at the top just so my egg floats, doesn't sit down the bottom of the saucepan. Okay, first little egg done. Now I've got some simmering water and I just want to place my eggs into there. Just move them around a little, give them a bit of a spin, try and keep that yolk in the center. Okay, now they need 5 minutes or until they're set, but still a little bit wobbly. Okay, now let's take a look. And so we've sort of got a firm bounce there, but I can see there's still a little bit of a kind of jelly wobble in the middle. That's exactly what we want. Now to stop these from cooking any further, I'm going to put them straight into a bowl of ice. Move them around a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside to cool completely. In the meantime, while our water is boiling, let's do our noodles. So I'm doing udon noodles today, and generally these guys come sort of firmly packed or vacuum sealed, and they're quite firm, and you need to treat them in a certain way in order to get a really nice texture. They can overcook really easily, and because we need to stir fry them as well, we want to make sure we don't overcook them. So take them out in that one big block, and what I like to do is just slide them into some boiling water, let them relax a little bit first. And now just start by using some tongs and agitating them ever so slightly at the edges, because if you do this too impatiently, you'll break up the noodles rather than separating them. So they're starting to come away at the edges. You can see. Here we go. The loosening is happening. They're becoming more pliable, and now I can easily just separate them with my tongs. And just as soon as those noodles are separated, I'm going to get them straight out and into that same ice bath that I've got my eggs. Just give them a bit of a stir and let them cool down completely. Now let's get our stir fry sauce done. So I've got some soy sauce, some honey for a little bit of sweetness, some sesame oil, and some kimchi juice. So kimchi is going to be one of the star flavors in our noodle stir fry, and I like to add not only the kimchi cabbage and the vegetable itself, but use some of that really great juice as well, because that's full of umami and salty flavors. It's really good. So add a few spoonfuls of that into the stir fry sauce and just give it a mix. Now back to our crispy eggs, and my eggs are nice and cool. Pull them out of that water. Just use some scissors to cut the top off our little egg package and just peel that egg right out of the cling film. You can see that perfect little wobble. It's going to be good. And then we just have the usual kind of breading situation going on. So a little bit of flour first. Okay, be gentle here, guys. Don't want to prematurely break that egg yolk. Just some beaten egg as well. And then the panko breadcrumbs at the end. So now that I've got beautifully crumbed eggs, I'm just going to leave them here and we'll cook them right at the end so they're nice and hot when we go to serve. And now we've arrived at the noodle part. So just a little splash of oil and bacon. Bacon makes everything better. So now that I'm starting to get just a little bit of color in that bacon, I'm going to add in my onions. So cook those onions for a few minutes until they're just softened. And now we're going to add the spicy. So I'm going to start off with some Korean gochujang paste. Now this is a fermented chili paste. It adds a whole bunch of like salty, a little bit spicy, a little bit smoky kind of flavor. I love this stuff. You can find it at an Asian grocer or in a lot of Asian sections of most supermarkets now. It's quite easy to find. And I just love the gorgeous red color too. Now almost a little bit like a tomato paste, just sort of cook this out a little bit, stir it through that bacon. This is starting to look exciting already. And now, because for me, while the gochujang paste is a chili paste, it's not that spicy. So I'm gonna add in a few chili flakes as well, but that's optional, up to you guys. Now, remember the kimchi juice that we used earlier? Now we wanna use some of the actual kimchi vegetables. So there's cabbage and spring onion in this one, and noodles. I'm just gonna grab them straight out of the bowl into the pan. I don't mind if a little bit of that liquid gets in there, that's gonna form a nice little sauce. Ah, would you look at that color? And now just pour over that stir fry sauce we made earlier. Okay, mix that through. Okay, now this is looking amazing. I'm just gonna turn the heat off. This will stay warm in the pan while we finish off our eggs. Okay, so just pop an egg onto a little spatula and ease that into some hot oil. Now I want this to happen really quickly because I don't want that egg yolk to cook anymore. So once those breadcrumbs are beautifully golden on the outside, just take those eggs out onto some paper towel, and then you want a little sprinkling of salt. And now all that's left to do is serve everything up. Our bacon kimchi noodles, bacony, spicy, noodly, and then our gorgeous crispy egg. This is like the most epic bacon and eggs you've ever seen. And then just a little bit of spring onion on top. And then of course, because I just can't help myself, let's have a look at that egg. Bacon eggs, never tasted so good. You guys are gonna love this one. Let me know what you thought about the recipe below. If you liked it, press like. If you want to subscribe, and don't forget to press that little bell button so you get all the notifications about when there's more deliciousness popping up on my channel. Thanks for watching, guys.